This is a PowerPoint detailing the instructions for the research project. So there are several steps within the research project. First of all, you will be researching a media of your choice. You will be writing a 1 to 2 page paper over your media. You will be creating an artwork using the media you have researched, and you will then be making an audio PowerPoint presentation presenting your media. So the paper portion of your project will consist of 4 parts. It will be the outline, the text, the works cited page, and then the imagery. So we're going to talk about each one of those individually. The first thing that will be due is a rough draft of your outline. Your outline should be done in Roman numerals, and you should look at this as a way to help structure your paper. You're going to be turning in a rough draft first, like I mentioned. It should be a general outline in which you include the media and the artist that you're going to research. I do want you to include a quotation, a citation, and a source. If you need more information on how to do those things, there are really specific instructions in your syllabus and Appendix D that goes over kind of in more depth the research project, and definitely more in depth on citation and getting a works cited together. So in your paper, when you turn your paper in, you're going to be turning in both a rough draft and a final draft of the outline with your finished paper. So the rough draft is just something to give me so that I can make sure you're on the right track, that you have a media picked out, that you have an artist picked out, and that you know how to cite sources. And then your final draft will be a little bit more detailed. We'll go into the specifics of each paragraph. So keep in mind that whenever you're doing your rough draft, it doesn't have to be super detailed. It is due pretty soon, so I'm not expecting it to be completely organized. And your final paper, your final outline can vary from the rough draft. So the text of the paper, it's a pretty short paper. It's a 1 to 2 page paper about the media that you've chosen. It should be at least 3 paragraphs long. You can add, an introduction and a conclusion if you'd like to. But the 3 main paragraphs should be broken into the history of the media, so where it began, how it began, etc. It should be the second paragraph should be about the artist, an artist that uses the media. So that's going to be part of your research, is to find an artist that hopefully you like that utilizes the media. So for example, if I was going to do chalk pastels, I might look at an artist like Edgar Degas, who is an impressionist who used chalk pastels in his work. Now, keep in mind that this is not supposed to be a biography. I don't need details about when they were born, where they went to school, anything like that. All I want to know is how they use the media in their work. Go into detail about that. Make sure you reference artworks by them in this paragraph, and you will need to be including imagery as well, which we'll talk about in a moment. And then the third part of the paper will be your experience using the media in this project in particular. So you're just going to talk about, you could even talk about buying the materials, sitting down and trying to come up with an idea, etc., and then how the materials actually worked. Make sure to include include citations of any information you have gained through your research. So not only quotations, but this is going to include paraphrasing as well. So anytime You're referencing information that you did not invent. You need to give me a citation, and you can do that at the end of a few sentences, or if the whole paragraph is kind of paraphrasing information, then you can give me one citation for the whole paragraph. So the works cited page, you're going to need 3 specific sources on your topic. This is including books, periodicals, an interview with the artist, and then the internet. Consider interviewing Northlake College art faculty. We have great faculty at Northlake. If you email them, I'm sure they would be more than happy to give you an interview, and that can definitely count as one of your sources. Make sure you're using only academic sources, so I don't want encyclopedias, I don't want Wikipedia. That's a no-no for sure in an academic paper. So the next section we're going to discuss about the paper is going to be the imagery. You must include imagery from the artist you research as well as imagery of your original artwork. So this is an art research paper. I need to see art, and I need to see that you understand how the artist is using the media by, how you can verbally describe it. Each image should be on a separate page, and each image should be labeled with title, artist, and date. You may also use the number. You may also number the images to help reference them in your text. So, for example, image 1, image 2, etc. But also just make sure that you're also labeling with title, artist, and date. Okay, so the artwork. The artwork you're going to can be anything of your choice using the media you research. I say in the syllabus, if you're having trouble coming up with an idea, just consider doing a self-portrait of some type. It doesn't have to be realistic. It can be abstract. Really can be anything that you can come up with. And keep in mind that all I'm looking for is that you spent time on it and that you're trying. And I can tell just by looking at it if you've spent time on it. So make sure that you are, putting in the time. Make sure to use the correct materials and techniques. So for example, if you're using a pencil, if you choose pencil, make sure to use drawing pencils in particular, and make sure that you buy specific drawing paper because that does make a big difference in how the materials act. Take a picture of you creating your artwork and include at least one in your presentation. And then I will also need you to attach a picture of your artwork to your paper as well as your presentation. So let me kind of reiterate that. In your presentation, I need you to include a picture of you making your artwork. And then I also need to see a picture of the completed artwork in both your presentation and in your paper. All right, so then the presentation, you're going to create a PowerPoint presentation about your research. Should be an audio PowerPoint that you record. So that's what I'm doing right now, and it's very simple. All you have to do is open your PowerPoint, click on the Slideshow tab, and then click on Record Slideshow to record your audio. And you can pause it and go back and forth if you need to re-record a slide. So don't feel like you have to do it all at once. It needs to be 2 to 5 minutes in length, and I want you to include important points from your paper. You don't have to read your whole paper or anything, but just, important points from your paper, and then, include your experience with creating an artwork and the images of your artwork as well as you making it. So your presentation, other than what I've got listed here is really up to you. So if you want to spend more time talking about your experience, that's fine. If you want to talk more about the history of the artist, that's fine. But just make sure that you're including all of those points. The amount of time you spend on them is up to you. So for more information on this research project, including the grading rubric, please see Appendix D of your syllabus. So this PowerPoint hopefully gave you an overview of what I'm expecting. And but for more specifics, you'll want to see the Appendix D.